Hey everybody, welcome to class. Frank Markow here. I'll be your instructor for the next 7 weeks for Contemporary Approaches to Leadership. And this is a class that's near and dear to my heart. My terminal degree actually is in organizational leadership, and I've been teaching and studying in this area for quite a while now. And so I think I've got a lot of good, not just information for you, but I'm going to expose you to the breadth and the depths and all the nuances of the world of organizational leadership. And this is really as foundational for those of you in the MOL program because you're earning a master's in organizational leadership. And so this class here really is going to be foundational for a lot of what you're going to encounter later on. And I believe also it's going to be transformational in the sense that you're going to start looking at your own leadership and the leadership that you provide, and maybe even the way you train for leaders in your own organization. And you're going to be looking at yourself and doing some serious critical self-awareness exercises. I'm not going to explain it all to you now, but we're really going to begin to look at ourselves in light of what we know about effective leadership. And so this may be a different approach that you've taken in the past. No doubt you've already exposed to a lot of leadership literature. This isn't a brand new topic for most of you, but this approach perhaps is going to be different for you, because what we're going to be doing is looking at some of the relevant current theories of leadership and what we know is effective in an organizational context. And you're going to be asking yourself a series of questions each week about how you do in that according to that particular approach. And then you're going to be looking for gaps or deficiencies and say, boy, you know what, I really could grow in this particular area. By the end of the class, you're going to tie it all together in a nice bow and have a self-development, leadership development project that's going to help you take your leadership to the next level. So I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sort of describing the end goal here, but I think it's important to think about why you're here and what your goals are in this class. Now, I'll talk more about the class when we get together next week, but for now, what I really want to do is introduce and talk about what we have to do this week. And you may be saying, well, Dr. Markow, I thought this was just a residency class and all I had to do was show up and the class was over. Well, I'm sorry if that was your perception, and I've tried to explain to you in various forms and ways so far, but there's actually some pre-class work, pre-residency work, and then we have the residency next week, and then afterwards we have some follow-up work. So this week, in addition to the reading which I've asked you to do, we're also going to do a couple of kind of light discussion threads just to kind of get you guys engaged and familiar with the online format. And then next week we have our residency. We've got 2 whole days together. They're going to be action-packed and just cram full of all kinds of exciting activities and learning opportunities for you guys, and I'm really looking forward to working with all of you. And then after that, we've got 5 more weeks to sort of process and to continue to unpack some of these ideas and work on some of our personal assessments and then pull together your final project. Okay, so that's kind of the big picture here. What I want you to do, today, if you haven't already, start to look at the class, look at the course syllabus, which has been available for you now for a week. I believe I mentioned that in our kind of pre-class video last week. But review that syllabus, look at the assignments, and in addition to working on your pre-reading, right? So you've got this book to read here, Leadership in Christian Perspective, great introduction. It's going to have a lot of org leadership stuff with a nice theological, biblical foundation behind it. So you're going to be reading this week, finishing this week, doing the reflection questions at the end of each chapter, and you're going to be put together a document that you're going to bring to the class. That's going to be your ticket into the class, right? But we're also going to have a couple discussion threads. So what I want you to do is to engage in those threads. One is simply a get to know you, here's who I am, here's why I'm in the program, that sort of thing. And I want to encourage you, instead of just doing the written format, do something like I'm doing right here. Just do a video. You can do it on your phone and then post it on YouTube, and then you can link it in the thing. And so it doesn't have to be long, just a minute or two. That way we get to see you and hear from you face to face. But if you can't manage that technology, written text is fine. I wish it was a little bit easier in Blackboard to just click a button and have a little dialogue thing open up for video, but we don't quite have that technology yet. So So that's one thread. And then the other thread is sort of a reflection on chapter 1 of North House. So I want you to read chapter 1, and it's a very light duty kind of a question that's required in that particular thread. So what I want you to look at, one of the things North House does here is he goes through definitions and how definitions of leadership have evolved or how they've changed over the past 100 years or so. So I have a very thought-provoking question to you about sort of these evolving definitions. So I want you to take a look at that and wrestle with that a little bit. And then also just sort of explain a little bit more about a current leadership situation you're dealing with and how you think this class might be able to help you, or what are you kind of hoping to get out of this class. So I'm going to jump in there later on this week and be involved in the discussion with all of you. All right? So that's it for now. You got your marching orders. I know we've got a lot of upfront stuff for you here, but this really is going to help you to get engaged in the class so that when you show up to residency next week, you're going to hit the ground running, you're going to be engaged and informed, your mind's going to be turning, you're going to have lots of ideas and insights, questions to bring to the class that's going to make our experience together much more rich. So that's it for now. Blessings to you all, and I'll see you online. Let me know if you have any questions. Here to help you.